I'm on time.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. A very good evening and a very warm welcome to all dear participants. I once again welcome you all to today's webinar on another contemporary issue, which is this new norm which has been put on all of us by COVID-19. None other than work from home, the new norm, opportunities and challenges. Yes, this particular thing, it was introduced into our culture, I would say, by the COVID-19. But yes, it is nowhere to go away. It is going to stay with us. So today's webinar by our expert, Mr. Damandev Sood, will enlighten us about the opportunities and the challenges which are available with this new norm. As per schedule, we shall be starting with today's webinar sharp at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, it is time for tea and networking. So I hope all of my participants are enjoying tea at their home in a safe environment. Kindly ensure, dear participants, once again, for all the participants who have just joined us, kindly ensure, dear participants, whatever device you are connected with us through for today's webinar, you should be able to access the chat window on the same. The chat window appears as a bubble. You can click on that and you can type in your name and affiliation at the moment, so that to check whether you can access the chat window or not. We'll be more than happy to know who all participants have joined us for today's session. Please ensure any questions you have from speaker for today's session, you can keep writing the same on the chat window. At the end of the session, we shall be sharing a feedback link with all our participants for certificate of participation generation. The feedback link shall also be shared on this particular chat window. No other place, no other messaging, no other mailing. The feedback link will be shared. This event will also be live streamed on our official YouTube channel, BVI Cam New Delhi, for knowledge sharing purposes. But we are not going to even share this feedback link on that particular channel. So any of your friends, colleagues who plan to join this webinar today, who plan to be a part of this webinar today, there is still time to go. I request you all to request them to join the WebEx room. The room is still open. So I once again welcome all my dear participants to today's webinar on work from home, the new norm, opportunities and challenges. Today's webinar is by a well-acclaimed expert, Mr. Damandev Sood, who is a senior member IEEE, an expert IEEE ambassador, and an international, well-known, very well-acclaimed international resilience trainer. So sir will be with us in a few moments from now. And as per schedule, we shall be starting with today's webinar sharp at 6. Meanwhile, Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay has also joined us. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the webinar.
Oh,
Good evening,
I'm
sir.
audible, I think.
Yes, sir. Perfectly. A very warm welcome to all senior members from different organizations like IEEE, Computer Society of India, etc., who have joined us and are attendees to this webinar. I can see the chat window is filled with all names of all participants we have today for this webinar. A very warm welcome to all of you. Taking names would be difficult for me because owing to my human memory, I may not remember all the names. but a very warm welcome to all dear participants. I welcome you all to today's webinar. And today's webinar is on a very contemporary topic, work from home, the new norm, the opportunities and challenges. So our expert for today's webinar, Mr. Damandev Sood, will be joining us anytime soon. And as per schedule, we shall be starting with today's webinar sharp at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, it is time for tea and networking. I hope all my participants are enjoying their tea at their home and a safe environment. But dear participants, kindly ensure whatever device you are connected with us through for today's webinar, you should be able to access the chat window on the same. The chat window is a very important mechanism through which we shall be communicating during this webinar. Any questions you have from the expert for today's session, you can keep writing in the chat window. I shall be facilitating you by asking them to our expert at the end of the session, and a feedback link for your certificate of participation generation shall also be shared in this chat window at the end of this session. So the filling of the feedback form is very important, because until and unless you fill and submit the feedback form, you will not be able to generate the certificate of participation of today's session for yourself. We have completely automated the process. So now it's completely automated. The only help we require from your side is stay with us till the end of the session, till the point of time you do not receive your certificate of participation. Fill and submit the feedback form carefully. Don't make mistakes while submitting your details, while filling your details in the feedback form. And once you submit the feedback form, we assure you within 5 to 10 minutes, you will be receiving your certificate of participation as an attachment mail in your inbox. So I hope the process is clear to all dear participants. I once again welcome all the participants who have just joined us for today's session. Today's session is again on a very contemporary topic, work from home, the new norm. As per schedule, we shall be starting with today's session in a few minutes from now. Our expert for today's session, Mr. Damandev Sood, a well-acclaimed, very well-known international resilience trainer and an expert IEEE ambassador, will be there with us anytime soon, and we shall be starting with the session. A very warm welcome to all participants who have just joined us for today's session. Very good evening and very warm welcome to all the participants who have just joined us for today's webinar on work from home, the new norm, opportunities and challenges. Dear participant, as per schedule, we shall be beginning with today's webinar in just a few minutes from now. And our expert for today's session is our well-acclaimed, very well-known international resilience trainer, Mr. Damandev Sood. Sir is joining us. He'll be there with us any second. And please ensure all dear participants who have joined us for today's webinar that whatever device you are connected with us through, you should be able to access the chat window on the same. The chat window is the important mechanism, because at the end of the session, we shall be sharing the feedback link in the chat window with all our participants. You just need to click on the feedback link, submit in all your details, fill in all your details correctly without any mistakes. And as soon as you submit your feedback form, your certificate of participation would be generated for today's webinar, and it would be delivered in your registered email ID within a few minutes. So I hope this process is clear to all our dear participants. Our expert, Mr. Damandev Sood, is just going to join us. And then we will be starting with today's session on another, I would say, very contemporary topic that we all have observed, that we all have felt, and we all have been through during this COVID-19 period. Very warm welcome, Daman sir. Welcome to the session.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
My apologies. I was teaching, just finished that session. That's why I couldn't log in earlier.
I do understand, sir, and my apologies. I kept disturbing you by giving you a call. So, with your permission, can we start with the session?
Good evening, Mr. Daman. Good evening.
Good evening, Professor.
Welcome you for the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Good
Dr.
evening, Dr.
Ritika, we can
Mukhopadhyay.
start.
And please start, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A very good evening to all distinguished panelists and participants. Bharati Vidyapeeth's Institute of Computer Applications and Management, in association with Computer Science Chapter of IEEE Delhi Section, Consultants Network Affinity CNA Group of IEEE Delhi Section, Life Member Affinity LMA Group of IEEE Delhi Section, Inter-Society Relations IRS Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi Section, Industry Relations and Site Standing Committee of IEEE Delhi Section, with the Associations of Computer Society of India, SAFA Society, ISTE Delhi Section, and IETE Delhi Center, welcomes you all to this webinar on work from home, the new norm, opportunities and challenges. In the words of none other than Mark Zuckerberg, people are more productive working at home than people would have expected. Some people thought that everything was just going to fall apart, and it hasn't. This quote by a great visionary and a leader simply indicates how the pandemic has transformed our work culture and patterns. However, today, almost 2 years down the line, work from home is no longer a liability, but has rather become a skill which all those who have adapted are now working very well successfully. Today's webinar is aimed to highlight that while the world has adopted to this new norm in the last 20 months or so, is it really or can it really be a new norm? Daman sir will shed light on the opportunities that this offers. In this webinar, a large portion of the discussions will focus on the other side also, that is the challenges that work from home presents to organizations as well as individuals. Based on over 80 small surveys covering hundreds of participants from various companies and countries, including students also, Sir will explain his results. Sir will also throw light on the importance of mental health that is equally important as the physical strength and will present the summary of global impact emotional impact assessment report that he produced with 7 other thought leaders from the world. The session will also be kept live through live polls. But before beginning with the session, I would first take this opportunity to welcome amongst us our distinguished panelists for the day. We are privileged to have amongst us a galaxy of experts. I would first welcome Professor Subrata Mukhopadhyay, Chairperson, Consultants Network Affinity CNA Group, and former Chairperson IEEE Delhi Section. I would now request Subrata sir to commence this session with his welcome address.
Good evening to all. More
Good evening, sir.
specifically, Damandev Sood. We are really delighted to have him here
Thank you.
as an expert. But such a topic, I am sure I need not rename or name any, whether it is new norm or already prevailing norm, continuing for 20 months or so. And we do not know, because with the Omicron at the door, how long it will be. But definitely opportunities and challenges are there, and every individual must have faced, and I am sure that it will be very lively session. They will be interacting through your whatever opinion poll or all these things are there, and something may come out additional to whatever is being talked by them, and we expect that thing from this webinar actually. We have the advantage. I have also taken the privilege of doing multitasking, taking the class at the same time, attending the meeting, which could not be possible with the physical system itself. Mental strength is a very big thing. That is a challenge you have talked about, or just I'm sure someone will tell them. But physical things are also there. Our connectivity should also improve. We cannot say in our part like this, other part, if we want, it is a same globe. Of course, timing may be little different. We have faced this thing. Even at last general meeting, I had to wake up at 5:30 to participate at the last portion discussion of the panel discussion, because it started at 4 o'clock in the morning itself. And I put somebody from POSOCO to give the lecture so that I do not face the problem at waking up at 4 o'clock. So all the things are happening with different time zone and all these things getting borders blurred. We are taking all advantages of these online real-time communications and all these things. We'll hear more from Daman. Let me stop over here, because this is such a topic now. Anybody and everybody can go on talking on these things. Over to Ritika.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Professor M.N. Hoda, sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, BVI CAM, to address the participants with his inspiring words.
Good evening to one and all. Am I audible, Dr. Ritika?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. At the outset, let me welcome our today's valued speaker and my very dear friend, Mr. Daman. On a very special request, he keeps finding time for all of us and to discuss his experiences with all of us. I also take this opportunity to welcome all the participants from different parts of the country and abroad. My dear friends, this is our 55th webinar of this IEEE Bharati Vidyapeeth series, known as Weekly Evening Webinar. Few times it has been on alternate week basis, but most of the time we have organized it on weekly basis. Today's topic, more or less every one of us in one or other way have been witnessing, have been availing that facility, that work from home, a new norm. We do not know that Omicron coming at our doorstep, already impacting many parts of the world, are going to create and redefine this norms of work from home, and in which way. But since almost January 2020 across the world, and at least from March 2020 across the India, we have been facing that, and I will try to take this as an opportunity to inform you all that the moment this pandemic hit India, almost for a month or two, we were blank what to do. But then after, people started developing this work from home norm. And in many of the reports which I have studied, that even the productivity in many of the segments for many of the work profile has gone up by many fold. That is an impact. But yes, there are many negative impacts as well. And in order to discuss all those opportunities, threats, and in which way we should balance it, we have invited Mr. Daman to enlighten us, to make us to understand, and also to make us to understand whether we are at home or we are at office. Pandemic is there. Pandemic has not gone away. How to ensure to continue learning despite despite disruptions all around us because of the pandemic, existing pandemic and the pandemic coming way. And that's how I keep on saying that it is very important to understand that whatever we do for our best possible engagement of the time, because one of the great poet has said that kal na hum honge na koi gila hoga, kal na hum honge na koi gila hoga, sirf कल ना हम होंगे ना कोई गिला होगा, सिर्फ सिमटी हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा, सिर्फ सिमटी हुई खट्टी मीठी यादों का एक सिलसिला होगा, जो लम्हे मिले हैं चलो एक साथ हंस खेल कर गुजार लें, घर से गुजारें या ऑफिस से, लेकिन जो लम्हे मिले हैं चलो एक साथ हंस खेल कर गुजार लें, जाने कल जिंदगी का क्या फैसला होगा. My dear friends, the purpose of these webinars are to
Excellent.
ensure to continue learning despite disruptions wherever you are. Today I started from my office almost around 70 minutes ago, assuming that like every day I will reach home in next 40 minutes, but I could not reach home. I'm still on the way because of the
Oh.
traffic, uncertain traffic on the road, and that's how I've joined it from my mobile and talking to all of you, because I can't escape that opportunity to interact with all of you. So thank you so much for joining all parts of the country. My last and final message to all of you, that these knowledge sharing sessions are very important to make us to understand that in which way and how we have to go ahead. We have been talking always that industry 4.0, industrial revolution 4.0 has revolutionized the world, revolutionized to the extent that even centuries old successful business practices, business strategies are no more valid and no more giving result. Rather, a new and redefined business processes, or rather a re-engineered business processes are required to give the result. Exactly in the same way, the way we work and the way we have been working earlier are absolutely different. And for that purpose, this particular webinar has been organized. I am sure this will help us to understand that in which way we have to fight pandemic with the pandemic, still be productive and minimize the impact, negative impact of this working from home on our society, on our family, on each one of us. And with this, that the information which will be shared with all of us will help us, will enlighten us to go ahead with more strength. And that's how the poet said that ujale apni aankhon mein महफूज kar lo. Keep power of knowledge, power of information with all of us. So उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, बड़ी दूर तक रात ही रात होगी. अभी कहाँ चैलेंज गया है, अभी तो चैलेंज आ रहा है और आता रहेगा. So बड़ी दूर तक रात ही रात होगी, मुसाफिर हो तुम भी, मुसाफिर हैं हम भी, किसी मोड़ पे फिर मुलाकात होगी. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep learning despite disruptions all around us. Over to you, Dr. Ritika, please.
Thank you, sir. I will now welcome us amongst us our expert speaker, Mr. Damandev Sood, a senior member of FPCS, AFBCI, CBCI, SMIEEE, MAI, ISO 22301, and expert IEEE ambassador and international resilience trainer. As a Continuity and Resilience Contributor Award Middle East winner and Global Finalist Merit Award Global winner and Business Community Manager of the Year Award winner from BCI, Daman sir has over 35 years experience in the industry. He is currently an advisor at Continuity and Resilience, prior to that being COO. He has earlier worked with Styria as Head Business Continuity Management, UK, India, and Head Green Activities. He has also initially worked with TCS for over 20 years in various roles. He has a rich experience in environmental sustainability, business continuity management, risk management, crisis management, business excellence, and consulting. He is a technical expert and lead auditor for ISO 22301. He is also an energy management expert for ISO 5001. He is accredited tutor for BCS Foundation Certificate in Green IT course and is a BCI approved instructor since 2013 and a member of the BCI Speaker Bureau.
Dr. Ritika,
Yes.
if you do not mind, may I request you to skip this, please? It seems you are reading a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. But it's a privilege having you. And I would now request you to kindly start with the session.
Great, thank you. My apologies, but it's a long paper. It seems that you have started reading, right? Okay, quickly then. Can you see my screen, all of you?
Yes, sir.
What do you see?
I can see your slide.
Slides, great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much once again, Dr. Ritika. Thanks a lot, BVI CAM, To start with, I will say thanks and congratulations. We have crossed century once again in this session. So it's a great effort by the organizers, but without participants, it wouldn't be successful. So we all must clap for you all, the participants. Thank you very much. I'm skipping my introduction. Little improvement, I will say that I am a freelancer now since February this year. I won another award globally. BCI, I'm into BCI Hall of Fame. And this morning, I'm a finalist also to another award, which is Global Award once again, a Lifetime Achievement Award, and the book, My Experience with BCM, just released in November. I'm a fellow of BCI, fellow of BCS, she said, so I'm skipping this also. Doing some work, my little bit, I'm just a drop in the ocean to make India a $5 trillion economy. So a concept called Vision 2020-2030 through Bringle Academy, where I'm associated as principal mentor and goodwill ambassador. Some of the awards and association affiliations that I have in front of you now. Can we launch the first poll, please?
Yes, sir.
Great, it's quick. Are you an IEEE member? And you have three options. Yes, no, no, but I would like to know more about IEEE membership and its benefits. Exercising time. Please respond on your screens quickly. And my request is perhaps close all polls in about 30, 35, 40 seconds.
Sure, sir. Uttam, sir, we can close the poll in 30 seconds and then we can have the results.
Can we see the results also, please?
Yes, sir. Just a minute. The results will be live. Uttam, sir, we can have the results.
And this is how you all have said in front of us. 11 people are currently IEEE member, 21 are not, 27 would like to have more information. We will provide more information about IEEE membership to them. 67 did not participate. That's not good. My request is please do respond to the polls. Attempt is to keep it interactive with you all. Second poll, can you be launched, please? A
Yes,
question
sir.
for you all. Are you eagerly looking forward to going back to office? And you have two options. My response gone already. Yes or no. If you say, Daman, I'm already in office, then little change for you. Were you, when you were working from home at that time, were you eagerly looking forward to going back to office?
Dear participants, I request everybody to quickly respond.
All closed, and we eagerly look forward to the results now. Yes, 43 people out of 128 and no 21. So we see a great percentage is still saying eagerly looking forward to going back to office. I've run about 90 surveys across globe. Thousands of people have participated, and generally response on average was 50% people saying yes. Sometimes it went to 80 and 100% also. Eagerly looking forward to going back to office. What does that mean? That's what we'll have to look at. Today also, we do not have a percentage available to us immediately, but a large number said yes to this. Right. My interpretation is, if 50% people are saying eagerly looking forward to going back to office, means there is some pain at home. With due respect to all of us, our families, and our homes. This means there is some pain at home. So the next question comes to you. Can you launch the next poll, please? And give little extra time because there are many options. What are or were the pains during work from home? And select all that apply. Please give up to a minute also for this poll. It seems there is some mistake in the poll. You can select only one option. It seems to be.
Yes.
Okay, so select your best or your biggest pain. Let me say this way then. Well, the meaning would change in this research now because of this option being different. Your biggest challenge, biggest pain of working from home. Please select that now. These were the different pains. And again, I have listed 10 only. There could be 20. Can you close the poll and then display the results also, please?
Yes, sir.
Quick look. No answer is 67 people are still not participating. Please do respond. It seems 14 saying work-life imbalance, 9 saying stress or fatigue, 12 saying family disruption. So biggest appears to be work-life imbalance. You know, many of us knew this work from home even before COVID-19 pandemic. Many of us were doing, right? So this is not new to all. But most organizations at that time would have said, we allow our staff, our employees to work from home in the name of work-life balance. What we are saying now is work-life imbalance. That is a pain we should not ignore. This family disruption, trouble, and stress fatigue. There is stress more than working in office. Working at home is giving me stress or fatigue. This is what people have been saying. So while the poll got changed a little bit, you couldn't select all possibilities, but what has come out just with single pane also is almost in line with the remaining earlier 90 surveys. IT is a challenge. Physical infrastructure is a challenge. Some people miss the boredom. People used to select all these also. Right? 5 have selected here in this case also. Intrusion into my privacy. When you allow me to work from home, you're intruding into my privacy. That's what people are saying. Very serious point according to me. Information security, while only 2 people have said this, I believe both the customer as well as the vendor have done some compromises. No one is willing to write it on the paper. The physical security and the information security that we can have in office, we can never have at home. These are the challenges of working from home. And as I said, there'll be more focus on challenges, while we know there are some opportunities also. I will not touch much on those. Next poll, please.
Yes, sir.
Has your organization done a formal assessment of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic? Formal assessment of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. And impact could be financial, emotional, or reputational. My response gone. Can we close and show the results also, please? 32 people saying yes, a formal impact assessment has been done. That is a good news, I will say. I'm surprisingly happy, but 19 still saying no, or 15 do not know. This is very important point. And generally, my belief is that organizations might have done part of this financial impact on revenue and profit, perhaps emotional has been forgotten. And that's what my focus has been on my research that I've been doing, the report that I've published, and I'll talk about that. I generally am a good guy in life for everyone, and I want to be better than what I've been. I'm a people caring person, and for that reason, my focus will be a little more on this emotional portion. Some other considerations, let's have a look at them. So, can we believe this easily? Female employees are looking forward to going back to office more than male employees. This comes to me directly from a female head of HR. The month I want to go back to office as soon as possible. In India, if you look at India, people in Mumbai are more looking forward to going back to office compared to in NCR. This is also a finding. The reason could be that, with respect to once again to people who live in Mumbai, that houses are crammed compared to NCR. More people live in small space in Mumbai, so they want to go back to office as soon as possible. We should not forget this fact. Number of home violences have gone up. Number of divorces have gone up while we have been working from home. More people are seeking counseling, which means impact on mental health. It's difficult. Across globe, specifically in India, if I say I'm going to seek counseling, that means there's something wrong here with Daman. So Daman doesn't say that he needs counseling, or Daman doesn't go for counseling. Even if Daman goes, Daman doesn't tell anyone that he has gone for counseling. All three are bad. Productivity has not increased while there is a claim, big corporates in the world. I have a difference of opinion or a different opinion. My output has increased because I'm not working 8 hours anymore. I'm working 10, 12, 13, 14, 20 hours. The productivity has not gone up. I'm producing more because I'm working more. Productivity is still same or maybe even less, I'm saying. And not only the quantity, look at the quality also, please. I believe Satya Nadella doesn't need any introduction. He said virtual meetings cannot meet the physical meetings. So looking at the size of the corporate that he has been managing, I believe we need to give a weightage, a lot of weightage on what he says. I say physical and information security arrangements of office can never be met at home. And I said this also, both have done some compromises, but not willing to put on paper. The compromises is in respect of the physical security and information security. Home is less safe compared to office. Once again, with due respect to all of us and our homes. Fact is fact. Some rules and regulations may need change or may change. When we are saying it is going to become a norm or it is already a norm, my suggestion, my recommendation is it should not be a norm. Should not be a norm. Yes, we have a challenge. This pandemic has continued for so long and there is no other alternative. So we have been working from home, but we should be back as soon as possible because work from home should be or was supposed to be a temporary arrangement only. We looked at some responses, some research, 90 surveys globally, and these are the considerations that I have been showing. Pricing may change, either can go up or can go down also. Linked to this, another question is coming to you. Please wait for that. Compensation may change. I don't know how many of you have been keeping up with the media. I generally do not believe media. That's what we discussed last week when we were discussing the month's thermometer. But at least some learning. If there is a learning in media, I'll pick up that also. So media reports saying Google has been saying something related to compensation with respect to COVID-19 pandemic, with respect to working from home. They wanted people to be back. They had to put their plans on hold because of the new variant. But they're also saying about vaccination. If you don't get vaccinated fully, you may even be removed from the company. There may be reduction in salary first while you are working from home because you are working from home. So come back to office as soon as possible. So there may be some impacts on compensation also. As of now, we understand from Google only and from media. I attempted to find from Google employees. No one has so far responded to that call. People are asking permanent work from home. Someone told me, Daman, this is also is happening. I'm a recruiter and people are saying, I want to work from home only. So I would be surprised looking at all the findings that we have been getting, emotional side included with a very high weightage if someone wants to continue working from home for long, forever. TCS, no need to give the introduction. They started a program 25 by 25. What is that? Only 25% of the employees will need to be in office by 2025. Again, this is from media. Program was initiated for sure. I'm not sure. I do not know where does it stand today after about 6, 7, 9 months. But all of us, including TCSs, work from home 100%, right? Then why are we taking 5 more years and then only 75% working from home? This means there's a big challenge in that. It's a big, big task. Working from home is not easy. We would understand infrastructure challenges also easily. I'm saying IT is easiest. Give me a desktop or laptop and a connectivity, at the most a secured connection, and I can work from home. So IT is easiest version. Physical infrastructure is a challenge. My company said, don't work from home, all of us, right? How many people are at home to work? It could be up to 5 in some companies, some families, sorry. Do we have so much space? My company was not bothered. And if my wife was working, my wife's company was not bothered. If my son, daughter, whoever, whether studying or working, just do it from home, whether study or work. They didn't bother about this. Have we asked these questions? We know some companies, as good gestures, later on provided infrastructure. Because Daman didn't have good chair, Daman started having backache, Daman, we will give you a chair. Daman will give you a desk. Okay, you have given, Daman's company has given, but there are 4 other people. Do I have space at home to keep 5 desks and 5 chairs? That's a big challenge. We should not ignore. We know some other companies have done like this, extra compensation, either cash or desk provided to you. Linked challenge I'm posing from finance side. Someday when I'm back in the office, and someday I will be, even if some people say hybrid model will be the new norm. 3 days you will be in office, the month 2 days you will be at home. I'm saying someday we need to be back. Then what happens to this infrastructure? This is office property. How will finance write it off? Or will they say, now this desk and chair has to come back to office because it's office property? Where is the space? Office is already full. There is a desk for me already there. Okay. We know some companies would say, Daman, we are reimbursing your internet, but that is a very small charge, internet connection. IT is easiest portion, I'm saying. This is the point I was saying. Will you ask them to return all this equipment? How will you write it off? People have said an opportunity from work from home is that I get more time to spend with family because I'm saving 2 hours one-way travel. So 4 hours. Really? Really? I believe we have been attending more trainings and more webinars ever since we started working from home, including this session also, by the way. Are we not taking time away from family? Let's be honest. Not necessarily we are spending more time with family because we are working from home. We are working 20 hours, 18 hours. That's how output has gone up, not necessarily the productivity. I'm saying we are guilty, including this session. Next poll coming up, please. Can we launch? Do you believe that your company's expenses have gone down because there are less number of people in the office? So less AC, less lighting, less transportation also. Many companies were spending on employees' transportation. So do you believe the expenses of company have gone down? 2 options, yes, no. Request, please do participate. Still about 60%, 60 people are not participating out of 120 that we have in the session. Good input will improve the quality of the survey, of the reports, of the analysis. We can close this in 30 seconds, easy one. Results in front of us. 53 people out of 133 saying yes, they believe companies' expenses have gone down. Only 6 are saying no. Right? Just keep this in mind as we go to the next one. Can you launch poll 6, please? What we have said? That expenses of my company have gone down. So the next question to you. Will you expect your company to pay you more because they are saving as you work from home? You have 4 options here. Yes, and it's already happening. Your company is paying you more. B, yes, and discussions have been held. I want my company to pay me more because company is saving. But so far discussions happening. C, yes, but I'm not comfortable in asking this question. And D, someone says company is saving, but don't pay me more. My response gone. Results in front of us. Yes, and it's happening, already happening, only 17. Yes, and discussions are happening, 12. Yes, but I'm not comfortable asking this question. I want more money, but I'm not comfortable. I can say it in little harsh words also. I do not have guts to ask my company to pay me more. While no, 23 people, which is the biggest number response. Company is saving money because you are working from home, but you still don't want to be paid more. Really great people. I believe your companies will be happy with you. Thank you very much for participating. Another question. Who did more work? Males or females while we were working from home? Tell me, please. I said, before I go to this, a female head of HR said herself, Daman, I am looking forward to going back to office. So females are looking forward to going back to office more than males. Why? How? We have been talking about this gender equality. Big debates have been going across globe. This is not a challenge in India only, by the way. This is across globe. That's why United Nations has one of the goals, goal 5 on gender equality. It's not India problem, India specific problem or challenge. This is a global challenge. I'm admitting myself, while I'm a good guy at home also, I'm a good husband, attempt to, but still I believe my wife has been doing more than me. Look at, and she's not a working lady anymore. She's a housewife now. Look at a female who has been working. Perhaps she has to get up at 5, prepare breakfast, and what? Working from home, right? Not going to office. Then take care of kids also if she has kids, because kids also at home now. They are studying from home. And then there may be parents also at home. And then lunchtime, she has to feed people, prepare lunch also for this increased large number as well. Everyone is at home, right? And then maybe tea, evening tea, and then do some office work also. So we need to consider this point for females when we are, especially we are talking of gender equality, it's still a challenge. Females anyway have to do extra, and then working from home adds lot more load to them, I believe. I go up to this point, very serious point. Is it even legal working from home? Have you done this assessment? Have you asked this question to your legal department? That's the question, and a very big question. What does it mean? If you allow me to work from home, my home becomes the extension of the office. I hope you all agree with me. And if it's extension of office, then all rules and regulations and policies applicable in office become applicable at my home also. Who will pass? You, me, anyone? Tell me, please, honestly. In office, we want good space, good environment, so much light, so much air conditioning. Do we have all that at home? The challenge was up to 5 people may be working. Do I have space for 5 desks and chairs at home? What environment do I maintain? Right? So these are the challenges. When I say it's even legal, I was training a company, the top management, 30 people sitting of Shahjahan. So it's little earlier, about 7-8 months ago. So they were still working from home and I was still delivering from home. 30 people. When I reached to this point discussion, the CEO said, Daman, you are right. I agree with you. Perhaps we have been working from home illegally. A very serious matter. Please allow me to take this point, which I have not put on the slide, but I'll still speak. When I say all policies of the office become applicable at home, because my home is now extension of the office, which policy? Named few. There is one more. There is a concept of death on work. If a person dies while working in the office, there'll be some special consideration for his or her family. There may be some extra compensation. There's most likely there is an extra insurance done by the company. I'm not talking of normal health insurance. I'm not talking of group death insurance. It's only one person who has died on work. Group health insurance, death insurance, assume I'm working for company ABC. Even if I'm on leave, I'm enjoying in Goa and I die there, that death insurance is available. That's not death at work. I was not at home, at work. I was enjoying my vacation. Now, is case when I was working in office, if I die, there's an extra insurance and extra compensation available to the family. Today, working from home, if the person dies, will that compensation, extra compensation, that death at work, will it be called death at work? Very serious issue, and that's why I say, let's look at whether it's even legal. Most likely, the insurance company will say, look at the policy conditions. It was for office, while the money is or was at home. There may be a big question, who allowed him to work from home? Big question, maybe big troubles for someone. If we say it's so easy working from home, then why Minister of Loneliness? Who did that? UK had even before COVID-19 pandemic. So there would be some reason that they created this ministry and installed this Minister of Loneliness. During COVID-19 pandemic, Japan also did. So we need to we learn so much from Japan, right? We pick up so much learning, so many learnings from Japan. So then why not this one also? There would be some reason that Japan introduced Minister of Loneliness. While we say working from home, we are spending more time with family. There is some mismatch, I believe. We need to think a little more, I would say. What has been the impact of these two countries having Minister of Loneliness? That is not known to me yet. I'll admit that. But that they install these, there has to be some reason. We not necessarily are spending more time with family while we are working from home. While work from home provided many opportunities, there is no doubt about it. Business stopped overnight, lockdowns were announced. That was a risk. So we had to manage the risk. Let's have a look at this diagram. I can spend hours, but I'll do maybe in few minutes. Look at the left-hand side. Risk was COVID-19 pandemic started. What was the mitigation? The governments announced lockdown in the countries. That's the mitigation. But that mitigation gave rise to another risk, loss of business. So mitigation came from the companies. Companies said, we will allow our employees to work from home. Good. But that would create another challenge, another risk, multiple risks actually, which we discussed. And I'm saying few of those: physical, information security, fatigue, stress, legality, and sedimentary lifestyle. People have been growing thick while working from home. So those are so many risks. How do we mitigate? To an extent. Some policies, NDs, etc. could be signed, right? Some policies could be maintained. But I'm still saying that physical environment and information security environment of office cannot be created at home. This risk cannot be mitigated fully. And then return to office started. Some have started completely, fully. Some are doing it. Some have stopped after starting return back to office. But that would also create another risk or challenge. Virus spread due to proximity. So we say in the office, we need to be separated now, which means there's less number of people, less space, our manpower reduces. But I still need to produce the same. So there may be some impact on my productivity, output, and cost and profitability also. Look at the bottom, please. The moment someone is positive or even suspected, we say stay at home, Daman. Get quarantined for up to 16 days or so. 16 days. I'm sick. What are you expecting me to work from home when I'm quarantined? Big question mark. Please think whether you are a good organization. I'm sick and you're asking me to work from home. Daman, quarantine but work. No. This is leave for you. Great. Thank you very much. Who will pay for it? Will these 16 days go from my annual leaves or will it be a paid leave for me? I do not have answers. You will have to find within your organizations. The challenge is that no organization can do it paid holiday for all. Expectation, this is what I'm saying at the bottom. Please estimate your worst case scenario. Expectation is due to a pandemic, up to 70% people may be sick. For 15 or 16 days, with average daily salary, what is this amount? Do you have this budget? I'm not working and you're still paying me. Do this calculation, please. Be realistic. No emotions. Business of business is making money and we need to be practical. No emotions. So I may say, yes, my limit is about up to 10% people for 15 days I will be able to take. After doing calculations, I'm saying I'm the CEO of the company. Let it be on the paper. Let it be known to people. I'm transparent. I'm a good company. I'm a good CEO. I've done my work and I'm telling people. The moment, assume 10% is 1,000. The month you turned out to be 1,000 first person, I will not be able to pay you. Now it will be leave without pay for you. Stay at home, take rest, take care of you, but no leave, because this is written. I haven't done that. This is my limitation. No one has unlimited resources. No one in the world, no company has unlimited resources. Final thoughts I'm saying, organizations must take informed decision based on the research. I've shown some, I've discussed some. No one was prepared for COVID-19 pandemic, I'm saying. No one in the world, no organization, the way it happened. Because pandemic means people would be sick, dead. This time people were fine. Offices got locked. So while people have died, we know the number is in millions across the globe. But that is very small number. My thoughts with them, with their families. We have been lucky. I could work from home, or you could work from home, only because we were not sick. If you were sick, we wouldn't be able to work. We shouldn't be expected to work from home. Can it be? It should be a temporary short-term measure only. This is my suggestion, recommendation is. And it's not BCM. BCM is much more than pandemic. A client told me, I'm a BCM consultant. You understand, some of you, if not all, know this. A client said, Daman, stop this implementation. We don't need BCM, business continuity management. Now it is work from home. BCM is much more than COVID-19 pandemic. BCM is not dead. I do not see full return to office soon. Now, even the new variant has started, but we need to do it in phases. I hope, I request anyone who has not been vaccinated, please go for vaccination soon. The rules may change, just like Google, which is as of now in media only, other companies also. If I was the CEO, I would say no vaccination, no job. Please go home, because I need to take care of my employees. You are not the only employee, Daman. I have 1,000 other employees also. So if you come to office without vaccination, I don't want. Hybrid should not be more than 5-10% work from home. This is what my recommendation is. Not 25, not 50-50, not according to me. It should be a choice, not force. Work from home. No. You have not asked me, Daman, are you happy working from home? We need to ask. When it started, we didn't have any option. Overnight, we had to do. But now, about 1.5 years gone, we should ask this question. And I'm saying, as CEO, I will say, please sign this paper that you will be responsible for the physical information security and your mental health if you work from home. Trust me, 100% people will come back to office. And we need to do this emotional impact assessment. Quickly, I would like to show that. I, with 6 other people from different countries, ran this global survey and produced this global emotional impact assessment report. Because according to me, as I said, I'm a people caring person. Emotions are very important to me. And we wanted to see what had been happening in the world. So it was global. We did. The run was for about 6 weeks. Data collection done in 6 weeks. We got 259 responses from 42 countries. So really a global survey. Analysis was done manually by me personally. So it turned out to be experienced people's poll, which means we can take it seriously. How are we saying this? Based on this, age wise, we look at 35 to 44 years, 23%, 45 to 54, 25%, 22%, 55 to 64. So that is a big chunk. 35 to 64 years, mainly we will see it's about 70% people were senior people. We can take the findings seriously. Look at the qualifications once again, large number. Bachelor's, masters, and doctorates responded or participated in the survey. So once again, we can take it seriously, the findings to be seriously. If you look at work experience wise, again, we see 16 to 25 years of working experience or 26 to 35 years of experience greater than 35 years. You see, it is about 60% people. So once again, it says it was a serious participation. The results need to be considered seriously. If you look at participations, respect to occupations also, a very good mix. Consultants, trainers, teachers, management, coach, professors, CEOs, people from risk management, government service, CAs, doctors. So it seems everyone participated in the survey. So very good inputs, I would say. If you look at industry sector wise, maximum participation happening from education sector, followed by BFSI, which is banking, financial services, and then followed by IT. If you look at then these three, BFSI, education, and IT, making about 70% of the participation. So quick view again, a report is available. It's available. Google search will allow you to get it. If you don't, please write back to me. It's freely available to everyone. I'll be happy to share. It has been published on my LinkedIn also, but you may have to scroll down a lot if you want to search there. So conclusions from the report, I'm saying age, qualification, working demographics indicate that the survey respondents were experienced people. People with no dependents were more stressed and more emotionally drained. Maybe it is obvious. If I had some dependents, I had someone to talk to, whether parents, whether children. But if there were no dependents, people got more stressed, more drained emotionally. Above three sectors saw the maximum participation. So we can also say that perhaps people in these three sectors were more stressed. So people in these three sectors, education, IT, and BFSI, these bosses need to think of this emotional impact assessment a little more than others. And they need to think of this work from home becoming a norm, little more than other sectors. We found some good news out of the survey. The report says the crisis was not seen as end of the world. That's good news. People did not feel lost. That's very good finding, I would say. Basic supplies such as groceries and medications continued to be available to most respondents during the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is not India we are talking about, this is global report. Very good, which means some people who are working in these sectors worked very hard for us and we should be thankful to them. So people in medical profession and people in other essential services who made it possible for us that the supplies didn't disappear. Breakup with partner was not a concern for many respondents while they were emotionally drained. So breakups didn't happen, that's a good news. Few respondents experienced the loss of a loved one and our thoughts for them, whoever died or their families, our thoughts for them respectfully. But there were some less good news also from the survey, based on the survey, that health and safety of family members was the main concern. I was not worried more about myself, but about my family members. That's good finding. Personal health and safety became number two. My family was more important to me. Not able to do what I enjoyed, whether it was cup of tea with friends and colleagues in office, or whether it was playing piano, whether it was playing cricket or football. But I was not able to do what I enjoyed doing. That came out to be a little less good news. Anxiety about own future, what will happen. Some people were crying also, I know. Someone, what will happen? Not that I was sick, that's why I was crying. No, looking at other people across me, around me, across world, that people were getting sick and getting died also, people were dying also. I was concerned, anxious about my own future. And the last one I say, possible breakdown of society. People thought in the survey, in the report, people have said that perhaps the society would be at the or was at the edge of breaking. So what do we do? How do we use this report? People, making your people resilient. That's what my passion currently is, organizational resilience. That's what I do now. Who in turn will make your organization resilient. In the past, we used to say, People make organizations. I've changed it. Now I say resilient people make a resilient organization. So we need to work at the people side, make them resilient, make them emotionally strong. That's what I'm saying in this discussion today. Making informed and inclusive decisions. Last year, you didn't have option. You just said, I'm on work from home. Now it's time. Please ask me whether I want to continue working from home or whether I want to go back to. Should be informed and inclusive. Daman, we asked you, you said you would be happy working from home, so continue working from home. Needs and expectations so that the actions could be drawn appropriately. Ask me, Daman, what do you want? Tell me what do you expect from me so that we are able to have good relationships, and good relationships make good resilient organizations. And importance of mental health, we know, as we said, stress levels went up. If people were seeking more counseling, that means people were stressed. And if there were breakups, if there were divorces, that means we need to work upon this. Maybe suicides also. I do not have those numbers. Establishing importance and need of conducting emotional impact assessment on a regular basis. That's what my suggestion. 7 of us, we all are recommending that people, organizations should conduct this emotional impact assessment on a regular basis. Once in a year, maybe a good frequency. Stopping here, the last poll, can we launch this, please? So what is your conclusion based on these discussions? Work from home provides more opportunities. B, work from poses more challenges than opportunities. Or C, there is no difference in working from office or home. My option submitted. Request maximum participation here, please. This is very important point. And as I always say, at the end of the webinar, I'll be happy to extract this data, do some analysis, and publish a report, which would be shared with you all. You may get this input also. So in a survey run live on an IEEE platform, this came out. Over 100 people were sitting there in the session. Maximum participation, please. Maybe very good information in your hand. Based on that report, you may be able to go back to your 146 people in the session. Great. But 71 not responding. Work from home provides more opportunities. 29 saying, but more challenges. 36, which is a large number compared to 29. 10 people at least saying there's no difference. Please take it seriously. Discuss with me. Discuss with others if you wish. I'll be happy to answer any questions now or later. Thank you very much. Were these discussions useful? Last call. And if you would like to know more about IEEE membership. Again, I request maximum participation here so that if we know you want to know more, we will provide you that information. I wouldn't mind no. No one is perfect in this world. So I also would like to improve if someone says no. I wouldn't mind. But do respond, please. A, B, or C. We can close and share the results also. Please. 23 people wish to have a little more information. Thank you very much. We will provide that information to you through the Membership Development Committee of the IEEE Delhi section. One person saying no also. I don't mind. Thanks. No one is perfect. I'll attempt to do better than this. But good if you, whoever has provided the input, can share with me what did you not like or not appreciate, so that we, the full team, together, we would like to do better. We would like to improve on this. question time back to Dr. Ritika. My coordinates in front of you if you would like to be in touch with me. Anything around this organizational resilience, business continuity management, risk management, crisis management. That's all that I know. I don't know anything more than that.
Thank you, Daman sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. And I hope all my participants have connected through this, because this is one session that we all have gone through this actually. So this is one session that I think all the participants have appreciated. I can even see many participants have even shared their liking for the same. And I would now request Professor M.N. Hoda sir, Director, Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, to present Daman sir with a small certificate for this wonderful session today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Raman. I think this was one topic which, in one or other way, every participant and everyone in the country and abroad is impacted. And to a great extent, you have tried to discuss, and also you have taken so many surveys through poll that is alarming for many of us. And yes, whatever is the case, whether working for home is better or working from office is better, but we would like that because working from home is more productive, and people should learn to have a balance, but still the pandemic should go away and the humanity should be at ease. So thank you so
It
much.
should
This
be,
certificate is only to
Professor Hoda.
remind
Sorry.
you always that you have been part of this lovely. Yeah. You can speak just after me.
It should
So
be
you have been part of
informed
this
and
lovely
inclusive decision. That's
webinar.
what I would like to say.
Yeah, please. Can you
Sorry
speak once
for
more?
I said it should be informed and inclusive decision, whether work from home or whether work from office. Let's consider all the inputs and then
Correct.
take the decision. That's what the submission is. Thank you.
Great. It was a wonderful webinar. In fact, we wanted that every one of us are day in, day out, getting it's impacted, and there is no hope that in coming days, sooner it will go away. So let's have a session so that all of us should understand, and that's it must informed one, whichever way it is. So thank you so much. This certificate is only to keep reminding you, you have been part of this wonderful webinar series on such a topic which has touched everyone, despite the fact whether he or she is working or despite the fact he or she is a house manager. Because you have nicely said that if we are working from home, how its impact is coming to our family members. So thank you so much, Mr. Daman.
Thank you very much.
Over to you, Dr. Ritika.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Daman sir. With this, we come to an end to another wonderful webinar. I thank our distinguished panelists and participants who have continuously supported us through all our webinars. A big thank you to all of you who have joined us on this auspicious day. The feedback link has already been shared in the chat window. I can see the number of my participants has also started decreasing. I request all the participants kindly click on the feedback link, fill in your details and submit it, and immediately your certificate of participation would be generated for today's wonderful session. And once again, a very big thank you to Daman sir. Thank you, sir, for another wonderful session. Despite your busy schedule today, you made it to this session. So
I'm
thank
happy.
you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Great. So we can leave now?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Okay, sir. Dear
Good
participants,
night.
the room.
Yeah,
Dear
please go ahead,
particip-
Dr. Ritika.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, the room is still open. Please do not leave the room till the time you do not receive your certificate. Feedback link has already been shared in the chat window. Kindly click on the same to fill in the feedback form. Please do not try to copy that feedback link into any browser of yours. In that case, you may see that you may copy garbled characters and you may not be redirected to the appropriate page. So just click on the feedback link and fill in the feedback form and submit it to get your certificate of participation. After 5 to 10 minutes of submitting your feedback form, you can check your registered email ID for your certificate of participation. In case you do not receive your certificate of participation, you're most welcome to share your email ID which you have shared in your feedback form with all the panelists. We are there to help you out. But please kindly ensure that this feedback form is only active. This link is only activated till 8:30 p.m.